Alanis, she took her own life as a result of continued progressive aggression that escalated to blackmail and mental health, causing her to jump in front of a moving train. This issue is not yet solved. It is still in process. It happened here in the UK at Manchester. In today's video, I am going to be shedding a light into my own little observation or my own little review following this very sad story of Alanis Ogundipe, as her father described that she took her own life by jumping in front of a moving train due to continued progressive aggression given to her by her boyfriend. Hello my co-host, how are you doing? Welcome back to another review with Tellasis Reviews and Lifestyle. Happy New Year! This is my first review for the year. I am super excited knowing that all of you are back. I am super excited. And yeah, I hope to make 1 or 2 changes to help grow the channel. That will also include maybe opening another channel so that these kind of reviews will be going to that channel, and this channel will be more about product reviews and fashion reviews and travel reviews. Only these 3. So this is what I'm thinking. I haven't made up my mind, but when I finish and I made up my mind, I will actually let you know. But one thing for sure, this channel is gonna grow, so please help me to always hit the like button whenever you watch. Please comment, because engaging in the videos will give the algorithm the signal that this video is impactful, and they will keep sharing it to more like-minded people, that this information that we are sharing here will be beneficial to them. Don't forget that we have social media links: TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, X, and blog www.tellnotortellasis.com, and podcast coming. All links are down the description section. Please engage, because the things we share there is a little bit different from what you will see here. And yeah, without further ado, let's dive into this review. Before we dive into this review, don't forget that we have the timestamp line below this video, because this video is going to be long. In case you have watched the video of Mr. Ogundipe's story, just skip to my own review. But if you haven't watched the video, just watch everything. So this story shed light into parenting and the behavioral patterns that we are experiencing today. It will help us to learn a lot. And so I'm gonna just drop my own little opinion. Please share this video, comment. 1, for justice for Alanis to be gotten, and 2, for people to, you know, have clue of what is happening around, and anybody can be can fall into this kind of thing. So this will help people to learn and be able to do it better, to avoid these kind of incidents from happening again. But again, you have to share as you're learning, so that they will get justice for Alanis. I'm gonna start from the personality of this girl. Alanis Ogundipe is an ambitious girl, perfect, hardworking. In fact,
when he met her, even he has confirmed it himself, she was very perfect, and she actually inspired him.
You heard it. She inspired him, which means, oh God, many things is coming to my head now. Let's listen to this full story.
When she showed me his picture, I've never been in agreement with him at all. I've always told my daughter, the reason why you were able to finish your university was because you didn't have a boyfriend. I know what guys do, I know how we do with girls, and I know how girls do. Don't fall in love yet, just try. You finished your degree because there was no boyfriend. Now, you're at KPMG, you've got a mission, a target. Get your ACA first, then you're free, and you'll have more options. So when this guy came up and she showed me his picture, I was not happy, and she knew. But I didn't tell her direct to her face that no, otherwise she'll start hiding things from me. So, but she knew I was not happy about it. That was how I got to know about him. But after meeting her, like I said, there's this pattern of incidents from the beginning to when she died. After meeting her, she was fine. The first parts are things that he did that made her vulnerable. He met her, he didn't tell her he had an infection. The infection is a viral, it's called herpes. Because herpes is permanent, there's no cure. Once you catch it, you're a carrier. You have to explain to your next partner that you have it, if you're honest. So you infected her deliberately, that's like to trap her. She can't go anywhere else. That's one. Wasn't allowed to speak to other men. He also misrepresented. He pretended I was a very rich guy who had multiple businesses. This is my daughter who I look after, I support. She now feels she has found somebody. Took her to his parents in Spain. Promised to marry her. Promised to invest in her future. But brother, this thing now turned out to be lies. He didn't have the money he claimed to have. All the plans he planned with her, he couldn't afford them. That went on for a while. The second section of events, I feel, what made her mental health deteriorate. All of a sudden, he starts shouting at her. There's evidence of all these things. Asking for a bank statement. Demanding for money. My daughter can never even let me see a bank statement. The evidence we have, she now started, after that event, she panicked and started doing web searches on how to take her life. We found out afterwards. The final things which he did, which I think broke the camel's back, the final straw. After shouting and demanding for a bank statement, he now went and stole a password. Broke into her phone when she was sleeping. This he has already admitted in writing. When she was sleeping, stole her information, threatened her with the information he stole by saying he had told her friends, removed her from his house violently, and seized her passport, which she required to claim the money, and all her belongings, kicked her out. Every step along, she told her mother. When he infected her, sent the mother the evidence. When he shouted and he apologized, sent the mother the evidence. So when this thing was getting out of hand and he had broken into her phone, she called her mother, and mother rushed to Manchester. Then the following day, it continued. The mother was actually a witness to what happened. When he was making his demands over the phone, the threats and all that, and when he was gaslighting her. So the mother was totally broken, you know. After the communication between themselves, which lasted about 6 p.m. or so, she told her mother she was going for a walk to clear her mind. The mother was saying she shouldn't go, that she would make some dinner, whatever, then she hold on. She said that mother shouldn't worry, that she's got a phone, she's coming back. Alanis didn't come back. She died on the 29th of May in the UK at Manchester, a station called Eccles. She died by jumping in front of a moving train. So the mother has been so broken. It's even the mother that made the police aware of the existence of this person. That was how they contacted him, got his statement. But ironically, till today, even our statement has not been taken. Very strange. You know, that's where we are. I didn't get to know till the following day. When I contacted him out of love to find out what really happened, he still shared some of the stolen information with me as a way to make me scared. Something that no parents will want that information to come outside. And now show me the demand for money, mention the amount. I'll be happy if I can help him. That money is about to go into financial ruin after she has died. Somebody you claim to love.
This is a very sensitive issue to talk about. This is one of the hardest parenting or hurdle to cross. But there are so many cues. Remember, Alanis' best friend introduced Brian to Alanis. So meaning that her best friend must have fed Brian every information that he needs to know about Alanis. So before he came to Alanis, he already had his plan. He already knows what he needs before coming to Alanis. And he knows how to package himself to be the man Alanis cannot resist, because it was Alanis' best friend that introduced him to her. So he was prepped very well in such a way that Alanis will be hooked. They know her background. So Alanis came from a very rich family. Apart from the fact that she came from a rich family, she is a perfect girl, hardworking, ambitious, knows what she wants. That she focused in her studies and never had a boyfriend until she finished from uni, which is very rare of teenagers in the Western world. Yet she lives in the UK. It is very rare to see a girl in uni that can hold herself and finish her uni without having a boyfriend, and had to have a boyfriend when she was already working, which means that her parents really put a work as much as they could for her to get that focus. The father said he provided everything she needed to give her the comfort that she was able to focus. So I applaud the parents. I applaud her for all their hard work. It's quite unfortunate that it is all now gone down the drain because she took her own life. Secondly, for the father to say that he was advising her to finish her professional exam before dating someone so that she wouldn't have distraction. Well, it is her choice to make, because as at this point she had already done the best she could to hold on, not get into relationship until she graduated from school. The next one is when she showed the father the picture of Brian. The father felt a certain way about the guy. He really didn't like this guy, but at the same time he wasn't very comfortable to open up to the daughter that he felt a certain way about the guy. The daughter, on the other hand, noticed that the father felt a certain way about the guy that she intended to date or was already dating. She still carried on without even trying to inquire from the father why he was feeling a certain way about this relationship. So what this signifies is the kind of upbringing we see in the Western world. Obviously, from the whole story the father tells, you can see that this girl had a good relationship with both father and mother. But my observation, even though she had great relationship with them, but maybe they are no longer together. And because they are no longer together, there are certain things that she wouldn't really take the father's advice on, because maybe for the sake of absentee father, yeah, you're bringing the money, you are bringing the support, I talk to you when I like, but you are not really there. So there is a difference from a present father who is well involved in their daughter's life and the one that is not involved. And this is why I mentioned in the last episode of my sex education that parenting is a joint effort of mother and father, and the absence of fathers in families is causing huge damage. And there is also another thing I want to bring to light here. Obviously, from her look, she's half caste, right? And her father is black. The way whites love, and when I say whites, there is love style for Eastern Europeans, there is love style for Western Europeans, and it's different, right? And then there is love style for blacks. So obviously they might not even be looking at the red flags, they are only looking at the heart of their daughter. As long as she is happy with this person, okay, you can carry on and experience it. So this is what I see that happened to this man and the daughter. You can see that even though she told the mother everything about this guy, the mother still was not able to tell her to move out of that relationship, starting from the first incident giving her herpes. That's to tell you that a lot of soft parenting happened here. Allowing your child to be the parent instead of you being the parent. In that instance, you loses the power to be able to give advice and to be listened to as the parent you are. There should be a balance. Parents that have done this, please, I need to hear from you guys. How will people do it better? But the reason why I feel she didn't go back, because she felt that she can't trust anybody anymore, not even her parents, that they cannot protect her. They are not eligible enough to protect her. So she chose to end her life. So this is a very good example of eye-opening in the challenges of parenting today that people really need to use to talk to their daughter and look into the relationships they are having with their daughter. So this is what I would say concerning this whole story. Number one, if you're dating someone and you start feeling a certain way about the person, or the person starts this passive aggression, hot and cold, every time and apologizes, launch a communication, because communication is very important. If he desists from communicating, then there is a problem. Please report. If he agrees to your communication and after that he does that again, also report and move away. Move away, because it shows that this is going to get into something that is bigger than you, as you can see. Number 2, protect your data. Protect your personal data. If you know that there are some moves you made with the guy, in fact, you shouldn't even mind what you do with any guy while madly in love. No matter how much you are in love with the guy, mind what you do with the guy, because most people are heartless. The way you were brought up is not the way this person is brought up. There are so many mismanagement and misparenting that is happening these days. So be wise. Do not be playing any city girl, city boy lifestyle, and you go and put yourself into a situation that you know that when it comes to light, you will not be able to stand it. That will cause you to start thinking about suicide. Number 3, soft parenting. In as much as, do not be screaming at your kids, do not be giving them iron fist hand, but sometimes over soft parenting can be a problem. So as a parent, do not parent and lose control of being a parent and the child takes over, because in that case the child has lost trust in you. If anything happens, they won't come back to you because they feel like you don't have that full control to make things better. Because if they can control you, then they feel more powerful than you. So when anything that is bigger than them comes to them, they feel it will be bigger than you too, so they won't come to you. They become weak. For mental threshold, mental strength. Those of us that we agree that we have a bit of a mental strength based on the era that we were born. But now, during the lockdown and after the lockdown, even us with that mental strength, something has broken in it. Now, let alone these ones that had never seen anything. They gave them body upbringing, everything was provided to them, the economy was good. They were raised in this Western world that have never witnessed any hardship or anything that would toughen their mental health balance. So you see where educating them that in life there must be hurdles. Whether you have a better life or you don't have a better life, you will somewhat in some way experience hurdles of life. And this is where you have to teach them to be strong when it comes to the education you're giving them as sex education. Teach them to be strong, because that life challenge is going to come, especially for those that have better life. Listen, you gave them perfect education. They live in perfect country where everything, good road, everything was provided for them. But you cannot determine the person they will end up with. So you need to tell them to be firm in their decision making, be mentally balanced. People can be this, people can be that. Set examples, get books for them to read, share your own life experiences with them and how you escape difficult issues and how it will help them too. Bring back home experiences, real life experiences, and use it to tell them, you see, be tough with this, be tough with that. Don't make it all butter. They will be mentally fragile because they have never been exposed to anything hard, anything that will challenge their mental health. My friend told me a story how he wanted to take up a career, and then when he went there, he walked away from that exam he was supposed to write because he felt like people that were sitting for that exam were below his standard. So he walked away. When he got home, his parents, instead of asking him to go back, help him, because they don't want to be in his bad book, they encouraged him and congratulated him for coming back home, let him to stay at home. Fast forward, as an adult, he is still regretting the fact that he didn't sat for the exam. And he was blaming his parents for not pushing him a little bit more to go back and take that exam. But when he said that, I told him that you can't blame them either, because they don't want to be in your bad book. As at then, following the law of the country, if they had tried to push you further, you might go and report to the government that your parents are being mean to you, and they will lose their child. So they don't want to lose you, and at the same time, they don't want to force. Because when they say that children will learn on their own, it's not necessarily true. You have to guide them, even though that they have their personalities, they have their traits. Then you have to give them a little nudge, a little encouragement as an adult, for them to know that they can have confidence in you, they have strength in you, that you are stronger than them to protect them. You are eligible to protect them when they are in danger. Let them know that life can hand them lemon. Then teach them how to make lemonade out of the life. So let them expect, even though they have everything, because no matter how comfortable you are in life, life will definitely hand you lemon for you to turn it to lemonade. You must face hurdles in life, you must face difficulties in life, no matter where you are. But the difficulties differs. So in her case now, the challenges she is facing is based on relationship, love, tough love. That the guy is cuckoo. Maybe he is actually a narcissist. That when she said she is walking away from that relationship, she started doing everything to hurt her. But where I am having complication about doubting if he is a full narcissist is because narcissists won't let you go. But in his case, he chunked her out of the house. So narcissists rarely do that, because they want to be seeing you suffer and them enjoying. And multiple times they said he apologizes and he do it again. Narcissistic people don't apologize. So this is where his own case is a little bit of twisted, because it feels like he is a premeditated scammer that planned his way with the girlfriend to deliberately target the girl and scam her, knowing her status. The next one is friendship. When I was growing up, I had these friends that I normally go to their house. I don't know if I have mentioned it before in one of my videos, but I'm gonna say again, I always go to their house when I was young, and what their parents does is they welcome all of their friends, no matter where they are coming from. They will welcome all of us into their house, and they will sit down as we are chatting, as we are doing everything we are doing. They observe us. But when we go, they will start analyzing each of the friends to their children. So fortunately, I'm very close to them, so I sometimes sleep over at their house. So when they are giving these advices, I learned. So most times, the things they told us about some of those people that we are friends with, after they tell us this, it doesn't take long. We will observe these things, and we will come back and say, hey, so your mom said this, your mom said that, and this is how we will avoid the person. So with this, we were able to make good decisions in terms of the people we keep as friends, very close to us, and the people we drop. So I encourage this behavior. As an adult, you have the tendency to pick cues about people's behavior than the younger ones. Then advise accordingly. This is a time where parenting is facing a big challenge, and every parent needs to do extra to help their children. Is when they are scared, when they raise issues for you and you notice that they are really scared, always monitor them. You can even report by yourself to the authority, but I presume that they cannot report this girl based on the blackmail things that the guy has against her. But in other case, I feel like the mother would have reported regardless, because what the guy may be having may be useless stuff, blowing it out of proportion because he knows that he can get money out of the girl's parents, using that to keep them quiet. And finally, you might do all of this, do everything 100%, and what will happen will still happen. So in this case, this is where you have to bring God in. Commit your children in the hands of the Creator, because the Bible says that the hearts of kings are in the hands of God Almighty, and He turns it to wherever He wants. So if you commit your children into the hands of God and make Him take control, He will be able to drive every of their decision, including the one they devised by themselves, the one that friends push them to do, the ones you did, the ones you couldn't do. Almighty God, because you asked for it, He will protect them and direct their heart, steer it to the right direction for their protection. So this is it for today's review. What do you think? This is my little opinion. I don't know much, and I haven't raised any adult. I am speaking based on my own experience as an adult, what we witness these days: lack of trust in men, infidelity, narcissism. There is a whole lot of behavioral malfunction that is happening around, which I, as a young woman, is witnessing as well. So I think that a little bit of this cue that I have can help someone, even though I don't know much. But I will appreciate if you can share whatever you can provide, whatever you can share, because we are all here to learn. So this is it for this review. What do you think? Please share your comment at the comment section, and hit the like button if you haven't, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and see you next week in my next review. One love. Bye bye bye. One love.